What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever live reactions slash recording on Twitch for us. We don't have enough subscribers yet on YouTube to get there. So if you're here, go over to the YouTube, youtube.com/CasketMines, and give us a sub, and we'll be going live both there and on Twitch from now on. Bungie's newish game, Marathon. It's an older IP that they're reviving with a new. It's basically getting a reimagination, but it's super exciting. Drewby and I love us some multiplayer, and we are pumped that we are 12 minutes away from seeing whatever the heck we're about to see. Drewby, what are your excitement levels right now?
Honestly, they're very, very high. I expect nothing less than the best from Bungie, which I know, hey, that's crazy to say right now because they're getting a lot of flack for Destiny 2 kind of going downhill right now. And I understand that. The criticism definitely warranted, no doubt. But Bungie is at the top of their game when they're in the FPS genre. And at the very least, you can always expect great gameplay, great art direction, and just having a ton of fun with friends. So I'm expecting something really great with this, and the fact that they're doing an hour-long showcase, and then as soon as the showcase is over, they're going to have all the streamers, content creators going live with all of their thoughts, their content that they've created from the event that they were invited to last week. I think it says a lot that they're really doubling down on this right now, and that they're tripling down on this crazy marketing that they've been having. I think they're very confident in this.
Yeah, same. So if you're listening to this on your podcast feeds, this is something new that we're doing. If you listen to the last week's episode, when it was our first episode back in about a year and a half. So thank you guys for tuning back in and coming and hanging out with us again. This is our first ever live stream, so if something goes wrong, bear with us. We could be a garbage truck on fire, but as long as you guys are rolling with us, that's all that matters. But that said, if you're listening to this via the podcast feeds, we are watching the full review.
We actually have the distinct privilege of being joined by a pretty.
We are watching and reacting to the Marathon reveal showcase gameplay. Probably a lot more. It's going to be 60 minutes. It's rumored. I don't know if it's actually confirmed, but it's heavily suspected and rumored that it's going to be 60 minutes. Which for a gameplay reveal, which I want to get into in a second, what you alluded to a minute ago, Drewby, is that so we're reacting to this live, and it's going to go up on your podcast feeds. If you want to see the video, obviously the video is going to be up on our YouTube. So if you want to go over to YouTube or Spotify now has video as well, which is exciting. I don't know if anybody actually uses that or not, but if you do, it's there and it's awesome. And we're there, and that's awesome. But what I wanted to say is that this is going to be an abnormal thing that we're going to be doing. Summer Game Fest is coming up, like Drewby talked about last episode, as well as the Xbox Showcase. And this is not the substitute for the Casket Minds podcast. You're still getting a brand new episode of the Casket Minds podcast this week. This is an entirely different thing that we're doing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, our passion for gaming is through the roof. So that's why we're here. That's why we're dedicating more of our time to doing this, because this is the stuff that we do normally, but now it's just going to be content. So thank you guys for tuning in. It seems like they're starting to talk about things. There's like a huge panel, and it reminds me of like a live TV talk show kind of ordeal where like they're talking to like the people in the audience. Obviously, the audio is muted now, so you can't really hear it, but that's what it feels like on the video. This is exciting, Drew. I don't remember a time that a game's gotten like this kind of marketing push, where like this is so in depth, and like for something that I thought was just going to be like, here's a gameplay trailer and maybe like some breakdown, maybe 10-15 minutes. What seems to be like 4 to 6 times that, depending on which increment you go with. And it seems like almost every employee at Bungie is in this room getting pumped to watch this thing. I don't know what to expect. I don't think we've seen a marketing like any kind of marketing like this ever. And if there is, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I apologize. But I don't know, man. This is exciting. This feels like a huge event.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, Bungie definitely has always been the go-to devs for like really pumping out some interesting marketing. They always, every game release that they have an ARG campaign. But I'll be completely honest, this is the biggest ARG campaign that they've had easily since Destiny 1, but I'd even go back to say maybe even Halo 2 or Halo 3. I think that this is like the biggest marketing push that they've had since either Halo 2 or Halo 3, and it's really exciting that they're doing that. And like I said, it feels like they're tripling down on the marketing. So not only do they feel very confident in this, Sony does too.
Yeah.
The entire PlayStation blog right now has a marathon theme, so they're all in on this. So I'm really pumped. It's an exciting time to be a gamer right now. This year has a lot of exciting games coming out. We've got a brand new console coming out with the Switch 2. Bungie is making their triumphant return with Marathon, which is just wild to even say. And you know, it's a bit of a reimagining. It's, from what I understand, it's still set in the same universe, but you know, this is its own thing. It's going to be a multiplayer game, and that's where Bungie really shines. So I'm excited to be able to jump back into the world of Marathon. And this time around, it's got just seriously the best looking art style that I've seen in a long time. So I'm just really pumped for this. It feels like it's like Christmas for gaming, because we've got a big showcase already again, and it's only April, and we're just going to be getting more and more as time goes on, for the next few months. So it's an exciting time to be a gamer right now, but I'm really looking forward to having a new multiplayer game to be excited about. We mentioned it on our episode last week, or the one that we recorded last week that released this week. Technical difficulties, gotta love it. Premiere Pro is ass sometimes, and anyone who uses it will know. But yeah, it's we talked about how, you know, Mitch and I and one of our friends, Jimmy Jam, who we've mentioned plenty of times on this podcast, we all try to play Fortnite at least once a week, or like other multiplayer games. And Fortnite has been our go-to for a long while now. So obviously we're never going to stop playing Fortnite, but it's exciting to think about, oh man, we've got Marathon coming out this year. That's going to be awesome. We've got Wildgate coming out this year, and that looks really good too. I was invited to the closed beta test for that. Haven't gotten my hands on it yet, but I'm going to try and do that soon, since that test ends on the 14th, I believe. But yeah, it feels good to be a gamer right now. There's a lot of exciting things coming out.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this is such another huge thing because if you're around our age group, you grew up with Halo, and then your like high school to college years were your Destiny, and now the revival of Marathon seems like a new ushering of an era for Bungie. And though it's an established IP, of course, but obviously it's this new reimagining, it's this new art direction that they're going in. The bright yellow reminds me of the movie The Substance that came out last year, which is a phenomenal movie and worthy of the Oscar nominations. Should have won in a couple, but this isn't an Oscar podcast yet. And like, I don't know, something about that yellow just does it for me. I guess some people would call it green, but it's more yellow to me than green.
That's highlighter yellow.
Yeah, exactly. What's important to me is that when we talk about Bungie, we talk about quality. There's the name, the brand is quality. And though they have their faults, and I mean, most live action video games do, Destiny's
Live service
game.
too.
Yeah, what did I say? Live action.
You said live action.
Sorry, got Oscars on the brain. Live service games. Pretty much Fortnite's the only one that nails it consistently, but even they're not without fault. But when you think about Bungie, you think about Halo and Destiny and how great those games feel and play. Taking basically what makes Bungie great and putting it into a new-ish IP, mostly new to everyone that's probably watching this, including myself. I never played the original marathons.
I never finished them, but I've played both, and they're Doom clones, but they're awesome Doom clones. They kind of have like almost a Dead Space vibe to them, not in terms of like it's full on horror, but like it's got like just a very like off-putting vibe to it is the best way to put it. There's a lot of interesting lore. It's a really awesome franchise. But it's exciting to see it go into the extraction genre. I'm really just excited to see how they iterate the genre, because so far the only extraction game that has really been able to stay on top is Escape from Tarkov, and that game has gone to shit like crazy in the last year. They've had
shout out Hunt as well.
Yeah, Hunt as well. I forgot about that. The reason why I didn't think about it is because it's so different than Escape from Tarkov, which has me excited for this. It's like, oh man, how is this going to be different? How are they going to evolve it? And the fact that we've got, I mean, Crytek is a AAA studio, but they're smaller than Bungie. Bungie is one of the titans. So to see them take on the genre, man, I'm so pumped. Do you have any like, we're getting close to like a minute away from the stream starting. Do you have any like final predictions of what we're going to see in this gameplay, or do you have any hopes?
I hope that I love it and that I can't wait to play it, and that I get a key so that I can play it as soon as possible.
Yes.
For the closed alpha. Yeah, with you saying, it threw me for a loop when you were like, it's a Doom clone, but I guess that makes sense considering that Doom was on top, especially like in the PC space back in the day. So I'm interested to see what it is. In my brain, I've always thought like Destiny lookalike, but we're about to find out. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and NBs. It's time. Let's see what we got. All right, so we have now seen Marathon gameplay. We know what it looks like. We know how it plays. We know a tiny bit of the narrative. Give me your overall impressions of this Marathon Direct.
Yeah. I think this was pretty fantastic. I think that the presentation's really great. I would have liked to see, I guess like my biggest complaint or critique would be that the pacing at times could have been better. I think there's a little bit too much of breaks between the gameplay and the dialogue between the devs. I think I would have liked to see gameplay snippet, quick discussion with the devs, gameplay, quick discussion of the devs. Even whenever they showed a bunch of gameplay with all of the different content creators, I think they could have broken that up with some of the conversations that they were having with the devs. 1000%. So I'd say overall, that was my biggest complaint. But I think that in terms of just the presentation of the gameplay itself, I think it was fantastic. It looks great. I like the trailer, the first trailer that they had. I also like the, more curated gameplay that Bungie had as well. And then I think that the gameplay that they showed with the content creators, it was all just put together really well. I think in terms of the how the game actually looks itself, I love that, they're still pulling off that art style. All of the, like content that they had, like the trailer that they released last week to kind of hype up this event. The gameplay matched that really well, like just the vibes overall. I was mentioning earlier, I like that this is actually an accessible extraction shooter. And like, Call of Duty tried to capture that with DMZ, and I think it failed miserably, which is why we don't see it anymore. But they tried to capitalize on the extraction shooter genre, but there's just no thought or effort really put behind it. They just slapped it into the world of Warzone, and the AI was not great. And so it's cool to see that Bungie has like really locked down, like, okay, this is what makes the extraction genre great. We're going to get those key elements. We're going to put our own twist on it with having abilities like from Destiny, having like kind of, I'd say, more like gameplay along the lines of Halo, where, you know, you just have a lot of tools at your disposal, a lot of weapons. I really like that, you know, all of the like AI enemies that you're fighting, like you have creatures who are like just native to the planet, but then you also have bots that are like fighting. And I'm sure like there's going to be other AI factions that you're going to worry about. Dynamic weather playing into it is really cool. I'm really curious to see like how that actually affects gameplay. Is it just going to be visual, or like if there's a heavy rainstorm, is that going to be like, I don't know, like acid rain or something like that? Are you going to have to like take cover in buildings? Because, you know, they alluded to like, oh, there's the tox stuff and you can get equipment that will, you know, prevent you from getting poisoned. So I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to implement the weather in ways like that, where that can actually affect your character. I like the customization of it, but it's also like streamlined at the same time. So I think that it looks great from a gameplay perspective. I think the lore is really interesting. That, you know, animated trailer that they had was a little bit too long, I think, but it still looked great. So I think this is a really strong showcase. I just think that the pacing was, it could have been a little bit tighter.
Yeah, I agree. I echo a lot of your sentiments. I think that the lore has me intrigued now. I feel like the cinematic, I guess the theme of both the cinematic and the showcase is that if it was shorter and tighter, I think it would resonate a lot more. I feel like we got a lot of stuff here, but also we didn't get a lot of stuff here. Like, I don't know. This felt like a if you'll recall with me, the E3 week, like after the showcases, they had like Monday or like Tuesday through Thursday. They would do these like on stage demos and stuff and whatnot. And that's what this felt like, but it felt like double the length of the traditional one. And I think that's where my problem lies. I enjoyed this. I think that we got what we needed. We got the release date. We got how to get into the alpha. The release date being so close makes not getting into the alpha easier, because we're under 5 months away, or just at 5 months away. I'll take that. I don't remember where I called it, but I called it somewhere that I think the thought that this was going to be like a September game. I'm glad to see that was right, because that's out of GTA 6 window if it does hit, but still not 100% sure on that. To go back to what you were saying about the other extraction shooters, Bungie has a very fortunate position right now, where it feels like they're a little late to the extraction shooter genre, but it feels like all the big hitters either came and went, or they weren't fully optimized. And what I mean by that is like Hunt Showdown, which got a year title now. I think it's like 1896 or something weird like that. And then Escape from Tarkov. Those have been out for years.
Yeah.
And obviously this has a big player base, so that means that there's still people to go out and get. And I feel like the extraction genre hasn't really reached its peak yet. Same thing with like battle royales. Like we're seeing that more like in Mario Kart, which we talked about last week. So it's interesting to see Bungie come in now. because this is the biggest publisher developer making a game that's standalone extraction shooter. Like we mentioned, Call of Duty doing it, but it was like half baked, tied into Warzone, and it wasn't. It didn't feel like it was truly its own thing. Whereas this is purely an extraction shooter with everything that Bungie's taken from Halo, from Marathon itself, from Destiny. I think it's going to be interesting to see how people react to this. I think that Bungie diehards are going to love it because we haven't gotten a traditional story through like the last decade from them. Because Destiny told the original Destiny told its story through like ghosts and collectibles and going online to read codexes. And of course the DLC like tried to patch this and like make it more streamlined, but a lot of people, including myself, didn't return to some of those DLCs. So it's like we're gonna get the same thing from here from Bungie. It feels like of like every season you're gonna get like a little story, you're gonna get tidbits, you're gonna get like lore and stuff, and it's like, okay, I'm not necessarily playing this for the lore, but adding that to the actual like fast and the goodness of the gameplay will help incredibly, I think. Because if I have a reason to keep coming back lore wise, then I'll do it. But you have to also keep me and not drip feed me. But yeah, I think this is the largest scope in terms of extraction shooter that we have today, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Bungie polish is a thing, especially from like a gameplay perspective, and I think that this has everything that I expected, if not a little bit more. I'm still really high on the art direction. I think it looks really good. Yes. I think there was a few gameplay snippets that looked really hype. I am going to go seek out some more gameplay and watch because I believe it says that like influencers and like the people that we saw in the showcase, but like the people that came got to capture footage, and now they'll be able to upload that, and we'll get to see more gameplay, which is ultimately what I wanted here. I feel like we were with the developers a long time, and I feel like that isn't the best way to do it when you're showcasing or branding it as a gameplay showcase. But I digress. I don't think that I don't want to get too nitpicky because I do think it was a good presentation. I think that they nailed exactly what they needed to do. Yeah. So let's transition to this. The Marathon closed alpha test details. All right. So the closed alpha begins on April 23rd. It's under a strict NDA. No streaming or sharing allowed. This includes like gameplay. And I believe you can't talk about it and like even like ad nauseum. I think that you have to be pretty hush hush about it, which makes sense because it's still cooking. This is closed alpha. Alphas are more strict. As they said in the showcase, some people have been working with them for 3 years just from the gameplay perspective. And Drewby's even heard much longer. So that's very interesting. Yeah. Alpha invites will be sent a few days before launch via email to selected participants. Priority codes are not instant access. They only increase selection chances. You must redeem the code on Bungie.net and have no bans or security issues to be eligible. So if you're sketch on any Bungie watch list, you're probably not getting the Marathon. Yeah. Something important to note is North American technical test only. For most listeners, I'm assuming this won't be an issue, but limited functionality and slower matchmaking outside of the region. So I'm assuming that you can do it, probably via VPN or something like that. But of course, with it being pretty much region locked, it's going to be very difficult, and you're going to be hindering your own experience. So I would probably just wait for a beta versus the alpha, unless you're just absolutely clamoring, in which case, go for it, I guess. It's your choice. Yeah. PlayStation codes are region locked to North and South America. Pretty standard stuff. It doesn't mention in this graphic that I'm reading off of, but to get alpha codes, you need to hop over to their Discord and any of the text channels. If you're jumping to this portion of it and didn't watch the actual showcase with us, that's totally fine. But what we wanted to say is that once you're in there, go to a text channel and do /alpha, and it'll link you to a little survey. It's 20 questions. Fill out that survey. and you'll be registered. If you're selected, you'll get an email a few days before the launch, which is on April 23rd. And most importantly, that Drewby pointed out in the live stream again, but this is the last little point of the graphic I'm reading, is selected players will receive 2 friend invite codes for priority access available on Bungie.net after selection. So if one of your friends gets it and you don't, beg and plead that they give you one of the codes, because that's a valid option. And I'm hoping that with Drewby and I hope that we're able to get in. Thankfully, we have every possible way to play this game. So if you get the invite, I might have to play on the Xbox. I signed up for Steam because I want to use the new PC. But it won't end the world if you have to use your PC as well. So we'll see how it goes. I'm really pumped for this. I think the gameplay snippets that we got to see, I wish we saw more gameplay, but that's just how this thing goes, right? Like, you always want more. And I mentioned it during the showcases. Like, it's painful to watch this because I know that it plays so well, and all I want to do is just play it and feel how the gun, like the recoil, like the sniping, looks so good.
Yeah, the actual gunplay looks fantastic, and then I love how fast paced the movement is. Mm-hmm. When I was watching this, and even beforehand, like, I was really hoping for, something that is more fast paced, because when you play an extraction shooter, like, they're going to be like Escape from Tarkov or Hunt, where it's very slow, and that's fine for those. But I wanted something that I was like, I can hop into this with my friends, and it doesn't feel like there's like a ton of downtime. It just seems like there's going to be stuff happening all the time. And part of that is because the gameplay, the movement is so fast. I'm a huge sucker for fast movement games. I love Titanfall. I loved Apex I played it a lot for a very long time. And even Destiny 2, like, feels pretty fast paced a lot of the time. So it feels nice that they're kind of doubling down on that a bit. So I'm pumped just from like that perspective, and like, it makes the wait just so much harder because I want to get my hands on this game. Like, the gameplay just looks so freaking fun.
So obviously we're recording this as news and everything is coming out. We got a tweet for you linked in there. So this is from Wario64 on Twitter, but it's via GameSpot. Marathon is going to launch as a premium product, meaning players will be asked to pay full price. Marathon will have a battle pass, 3 maps, a 4th map arriving shortly after launch.
Okay.
Already seeing the comments being like, full price isn't 70? Say it ain't so. Wait, this game is not free, not for live service games. I'll pick this up for $5 in a few years' time. So this is exactly what I was saying earlier about the Concord thing. People are like, Fortnite's free. What do you mean I'm paying $70? And it's like, yeah, well, Fortnite didn't actually launch as Fortnite either. So let's pump the brakes. It came out as what's the one mode? It's like build the world or whatever, fight the world, bullcrap. What is it called?
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head.
It's the mode that no one played, and so they created the battle royale aspect. And then Fortnite took off. I don't know why anyone is surprised by this. It's a full-fledged Bungie product. They're owned by Sony now, so Bungie would have done this regardless. But it's like, what do you expect? I mean, Destiny launched as a full-price game. It went free to play like 4 years after Destiny 2 launched. Of course, this game is launching at $70.
Yeah.
Of course, this game's going to have a battle pass. Like, the customization aspect of it, of course. I don't understand what people were expecting.
Agreed.
Like, I guess the one upside to this is, like, you pay $70. Season 1 doesn't launch with the game. It's usually like a month or two after. It's usually how these games roll out. It's like the game launches, you play it, you get good at it. Season 1 launches, then the content's there to unlock. So yeah, you're paying $70 up front, and then the battle pass, the season, whatever it's going to be called, probably just a battle pass, will be there. I genuinely don't know why people are upset about this. Like, this is par for the course. This is not an egregious thing to ask for $70 for what looks like a very, very polished product. Yeah, I don't know. What do you got?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that honestly, I'll be completely honest. I'd rather pay for a very polished, premium multiplayer game than play a free to play game that's just going to be egregious with microtransactions. Fortnite's a bit different because all of the microtransactions are cosmetics. And, you know, they're just on top of the game with battle passes and all the content that they're releasing. Not every publisher, not every developer has the resources that Epic Games has, but Bungie has a good track record of releasing quality content for Destiny 2. Recently, yes, it's slowed down a bit, and that's a topic for another time. But one thing for sure, they can create just really strong gameplay. And I think that, if they can double down on that with new maps that are great, new characters, that they're going to create new classes. Like, we already know that's going to happen. They said like they have the core 4 right now, but there could be more coming at launch. We don't know.
6 are going to be at launch.
6 at launch. Okay. I misheard that. But yeah, like I can see them releasing really good quality content with each season. I think my biggest worry is that how long will it take for each season to release? Is it going to be, just a few months? If it's just a few months, cool. If we're going to have to wait 6 months for a new map every time, I know we're getting that 4th map shortly after, but after that, are we going to have to wait 6 months for a 5th map? I think that is the most concerning thing. But I think just from what we've seen with this gameplay, and when we get our hands on it with the alpha and an inevitable beta, I think we're definitely going to be able to really gauge, like, okay, is this going to be something that is going to keep me coming back? I think just from what they've shown today, it looks like there's going to be enough variety in gameplay that, not every match is going to feel the same. It's going to feel like a different match every time because you're playing with different enemies. You are having like different dynamic events. You're having dynamic weather. So it seems like they've got enough in there just from this map alone. And then they have 2 other maps and that 4th one shortly after. I'm not super concerned. I have my small concerns, like I mentioned, but yeah, I would definitely pay full price for this game. I think it looks awesome. And I really hope that it delivers. I think that, concerns are warranted. I think that complaining that we've got a premium game being full price is silly. It's like, this is the industry. You know how it goes. That's just standard practice. Would you rather have a free-to-play game that is egregious with its content, or like look at other extraction shooters? Escape from Tarkov, especially within the last year, has been super egregious. You have to pay extra money to have more storage space for like your loot. It's pay to win.
Yeah.
So, and you also have to pay like $45 to get the full game, on top of having hundreds of dollars worth of stuff to have the best amount of equipment and to have more equipment on your character out as soon as you log in each season. So I think that what they're doing here is not unreasonable at all.
So I'll run you through the Tarkov stuff because I don't actually own it, but I played it quite a bit at this point. So the base version of the game is $50. That's a little bit more expensive than I think it launched at. I think you were right with it launching at 45. Everything's gone up, not a surprise. But you get This is what you get: guaranteed instant access to the closed beta, digital copy preload, basic stash, bonus equipment starting at start, including. It doesn't even say. So you're paying $50 and you're getting like a bare bones version of the game. I'm not going to read you every single thing, but the price jump is $82, or not, the jump is $82. It goes from 50 to 82. So a $32 increase, and you get a 10 by 40 instead of a 10 by 30 size of stash. Yeah. Then you go up to the next one being 110, which is another $28. And you're getting 10 more inventory slots. And then there's a $250 edition of this game. Of course, you get like everything, all the bells and whistles and all that. Yeah. But if we're going to complain about pricing, let's start complaining about literally everything. I just can't fathom. Like, I understand people not wanting to play this game. This game is definitely not for everyone. It's not even for every Bungie fan. If you like Halo and you like Destiny, you might not like Marathon. And that's not even like to say the game itself, like extraction shooters, but like the art direction. It's such a departure from everything that they've done that like I can be like, hey, it's not my thing. But like I was reading the comments of things while you were giving your spiel, and I was dumbfounded by some of the things. Tom Henderson from Insider Gaming posted a poll of thoughts on Marathon. I'll definitely play. I'll give it a try, and then not interested. Not interested is almost at 50%, which feels like a reaction to the pricing, because the top comments is it free? Is it free to play? Looks boring. Graphically underwhelming. Too cartoony. Colors oversaturated. Hard pass. Graphics look alpha or pre-alpha, but intentional, which doesn't even make sense. And then like some of it's like would try if it's free, and it's like, yeah, try the alpha, try the beta. That's your trying it. It's not. I feel like we're getting dumber as gamers day by day.
That's for sure.
Like, do we just forget do we wake up as clean slates and like, I want this thing for free now. If I can't try it right now, I'm not paying $70 and buying your battle pass. It's like, you don't have to buy the battle pass if you buy the game. It's literally cosmetic stuff, brother. Like, what are we doing? Like, it doesn't gonna hinder the actual gameplay. If you don't want the cosmetic thing, don't buy the cosmetic thing. It drives me nuts. Because I remember people complaining about this in like Call of Duty. Well, I guess Call of Duty is more extreme than Fortnite. But like people being like, well, I want the skins. And it's like, okay, well, then buy the skins. And it's like, well, I can't afford it, so it should be priced more reasonably. And it's like, well, that's not how that works. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too in every single thing that you do in every facet of life. It's, I don't know. I'll get off my soapbox. Anyway, a lot of negative impressions online right now.
I just wanted to say real quick, we have someone who just tuned in a little bit ago, skirting the issues. They said, just walked in, can speak at length on Tarkov. Picked you to get the icon because you seem like a smaller channel, which, by the way, apparently we have drops enabled. I didn't even realize, so that's cool. Yeah. And then skirting the issues says, I got the everything edition of Escape from Tarkov when it was just 100-ish. It felt fun then, felt fun then. Sorry, my chat just like freaked out. And I got the secret secure butthole back. Then there was the price upheaval that they walked back on. Tarkov now is not well priced, which that's for sure. It's gotten rough, and I've stopped playing it. It's just between the cheaters, the amount of time that it's taking to come out with new content. The game's still super unoptimized, and this game has been out for like a decade now. But they also said PvP extraction shooters are always polarizing. Some people never wanted that in the first place. Those games aren't good for everyone's blood pressure.
God, that's the truth.
Yeah. That's very true. The extraction genre, not for everyone. PvP shooters, not for everyone. But that's what this is. And if you're not into that, you don't have to play it. Yeah. Or if you want to give it a shot, give it a shot. I think that it's nice to have not another battle royale at the very least.
That's a good point.
They could have just gone the battle royale route with this. Maybe they'll add a BR mode, and I'll be there to play it. But it's nice to have something different in the FPS space, and I like that we're getting an extraction game that we can just jump into, and it's not a ridiculous price.
Yeah, I think another important thing to think of for Escape from Tarkov is that it's locked onto PC as well, and not like just locked onto PC. You have to like actually download the game from the site. Like it's not like a Steam thing. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Agreed.
I think just going back quickly to the extraction portion, like there's not a ton on console, at least not like super polished ones. Like you have Hunt. And I don't think that Hunt is like, I won't even say the system seller because I don't think that Marathon's going to be a system seller. But in the same vein, like, let me try and like Hunt's aesthetic isn't going to be for everyone. It's for me because I love the way that game looks and plays. I really like Hunt, but like this is so far to the right or the left of wherever Hunt is that it's like, I don't know if it's going to find the anti-Hunt aesthetic people, but like, I guess it's not really important. What's important is that like, if this game interests you and you want to play it, try the alpha. And if you can't try the alpha, try the beta. Now it's unconfirmed about the beta, but you have to imagine, I'm pretty sure that Destiny had alpha and beta because I played the beta of both Destinies. I'm pretty sure. Regardless, the pricing concerns again are so baffling, and I think that like last week we talked about the Nintendo Switch, like the $80 stuff, which I find far more valid than this game being $70 plus battle passes. It's like we do this every year for Call of Duty, like and I know that Call of Duty technically has more modes, like it has the campaign, it has zombies and or whatever the third mode is. Whether it's zombies, extraction, in the one Call of Duty case, and then whatever it may be. Not important. It's just like, why are we so anti-supporting people making cool stuff? Like, at the end of the day, if you don't like Bungie, if you don't like what this is, just don't give it your money. And you can carry on your life. You can go play Blueprints, which is on Game Pass and PlayStation Extra or whatever it's called, because it's I'll talk about this later, but I'm addicted to Blueprints. Jackie and I have been playing it, and
nice.
Oh my god, it's so good. But I don't know, man. I don't have too much more to add. I think it's just kind of silly to be up in arms about a $70 game being a $70 game.
I agree.
Did you have any inclinations that this was not going to be a $70 game?
I mean, I was expecting it. They say full price in the tweet. That doesn't necessarily mean $70. I mean, we could be getting like a $40 game, but I'm expecting $70 100%. And I'm okay with it because they seem very confident in this, and I have a feeling it's going to last a lot longer than Concord will, for sure.
Most games of all time have
every game of all time, actually.
Yeah. I feel
unless you're the day before or whatever it's called.
Oh my dude, that thing deserves everything and worse.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's
But yeah, I think I've kind of touched most of my points, or all of my points for Marathon. So
yeah, me too. And that's why we're gonna wrap it up here for our Marathon. Thank you guys for joining our first ever live stream and reaction to a live stream. This was a blast.
Yeah.
The ending, not so much, just because we had to get on our soapboxes, but that's the internet and reacting to the internet more so than anything that the actual showcase presented. We're excited here. If we get Marathon and when we can talk about Marathon, we'll let you know. I don't know if we can say if we're playing it, but if we are, or if we can, we'll tell you. And if not, then don't worry about it. That's for us to know.
Yeah.
We'll be able to talk about it eventually. And when the beta comes out, we'll probably stream it or something. But Drew and I are both looking forward to it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. New episode of Casket Minds dropping in just a couple of days. We're actually going to record it very soon after we get done with this live stream here. And until next time, subscribe to the Twitch, hit that notification bell, let you know whenever we go live. And we'll see you next one.